there, daylight burners. Happy Monday. Hope you had a good weekend. I know I sure did. Boy, we had some fun. We performed two shows actually in Elko this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Saturday night. Got to share the stage with some very, very talented musicians. My good friend Sam McCue, a good buddy Jake Houston, and Matt and Rachel Wilson, also known as Wampus Cat. And then, of course, my dad came out to Nevada. First time I've got him out here, and boy, we just had a big old time. So, thanks for everybody that made it out to the show or watched on Facebook. I appreciate you, and I hope you enjoyed it. So, before we get into the show, we got the most of the concert recorded until the camera died, and then that was the end of the show. But anyhow, it was it was fun. It was a lot of fun. But before we get into that, I got some sponsors that help pay for all this to be on the air. So let me tell you about them. First and foremost, we got Stetson Ranches there in Fromberg, Montana. Multi-generational ranch family, diversified outfit running industrial hemp. Some of the best quarter horses you can find. They got a really nice string of brood mares, and they're breeding them back to some really nice studs. And they're pumping out some really, really awesome horse flesh. Just shapy, heavy boned, athletic type horses that with a good mind. They're ready to go any direction you want to them. They've also got a really neat pasture to plate, direct to consumer beef program. They are raising registered Black Angus cows, breeding them back to registered Hereford bulls. That's going to give you a Black Baldy calf, F1 Black Baldy. And that's going to be turned into prime steak on your plate every time for $6.95 a pound, delivered to your door on dry ice. And it's just excellent stuff. Some of the best beef you'll ever eat, some of the best people you ever meet. And by the way, my friend Jesse is also quite an excellent knife maker as well. So he's been knocking out a whole bunch of those too. So go give him a shout. You can find him online, StetsonRanches.com. Go follow Jesse on Facebook and Instagram. He's at Jese Stetson. That's Jesse with one S. And let him know you heard about him on Burnin Daylight. Next up, we got the best goddamn sale barn in North America. Coming to you from Loma, Colorado, 1369 12.5 Road. Got a sale coming up today, every Monday, 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Run the feeders first and then the weigh up stuff after. Maybe it's the weigh ups first. I don't recall, but they got a good sale. George is doing some really neat stuff with traceability and source and age verification, and just trying to line you up with the best possible buyers that he can, and add some value to your cattle. So if you can't make the sale, don't worry about it. They got a link online. You go over to dvauction.com and you can click on the Loma Livestock tab, and then you can watch the sale live right there from the comfort of your own home, and you can bid as well. If you got any questions for him, or if you'd like to consign, give him a holler, 970-858-9988. Go check out their website for market report, schedule of events, and a bunch of other good information you might need. Go to lomalivestock.com. Make sure you follow them on Facebook and Instagram as well. And I appreciate the hell out of you, George. So thanks for being on the show, or for supporting the show for as long as you have. And next up, we have Mr. Ryan Erickson with Oxbar Custom Cowboy Gear. He is a working cowboy and a maker, all in the same. He's actually a pretty good musician too. But he's making buckles, bits, spurs, shaps, chinks, just all sorts of good cowboy gear. It's built heavy, good, made to last. And and he's cowboyed for his whole life, so he knows what it takes to build good stuff. He's also given away a pair of baby Chihuahua spurs. We'll be doing we are currently doing a contest on that. Entries will be accepted until March 1st. So you got the rest of I guess it's February now, huh? February. Anyhow, post a video of you with your best fancy loop. Use the hashtag Burnin Daylight and hashtag Fancy Loop Friday, and tag me in it, and I will repost it. Whoever has the best video, most reactions and everything, will win the set of spurs. Runner up will get a pair of Hondas from Nick Allen Loot. So it's a pretty cool contest. Ryan's a hell of a good guy, so go check him out on Facebook and Instagram, Oxbar Custom Cowboy Gear. And finally, last but not least, we've got the official boot maker of Burnin Daylight, Mr. Jake Houston and Houston Boot Co. He was also on the show here. Hell of a musician as well. Great guy. He's based out of Virginia City, Nevada, and he is making handmade, custom, made to measure, and all custom orders every single time. Building some of the best cowboy boots out there, and man, they fit like a freaking glove. They are so good, and they just, man, they look sharp. I couldn't be happier with him, and he's just such a cool guy. So if you would like to see some of his stuff, you can find him on Instagram at Houston Boot Co. And he can send you a kit to measure your foot, or you can he'd rather do it in person. So I mean, he's very, very conscientious about getting the details right. And so if you'd like to set up a time or anything, give him a holler, 775-315-3022. And as always, let him know you heard about it on Burnin Daylight. So thanks to all the sponsors. Thanks to everybody that came out to the show and made it just such an awesome success. So I appreciate y'all. And here is Burnin Daylight does Elko.
Oh, give me that wide open sky. Live as free as the birds fly.
Howdy, folks. Welcome to the Cowboy Poetry and Show tonight. And our leader here, we'll bring him out, is Matt. And the name of this group actually is the SSL. That stands for Sanity Simulated Infrequently. And Matt is, I'm a very, very proud parent. You guys got to go through this here. All parents do, proud parents. Matt's my son. And he's a well-trained musician. His mother, my wife, and I did a little music stuff. And we started Matt quite young. And she played the piano, I played the guitar. And, well, you know, there comes a time in your life when you transition. Like you go to school, that's a transition. Puberty's a transition, married. Matt was about 17, and Jan, my wife, his mother, said, yeah, it's about time Matt went on. And I said, yeah, we did. So then that evening we started playing like we did, and Matt picked his guitar up. We started playing a song or two there. What the hell's that noise? I said, Matt, you never noticed we put strings on your guitar. And so from that we started. Matt, come on out here. Thank you. He had to do special arrangements. There wasn't a long guest list, but we got invited. Matt got us invited to come. Not a whole lot of folks got invited to this, I noticed. They didn't invite a lot of performers, but they invited Matt. Thank you, Matt.
Howdy there. How's everybody doing tonight? Who is here for transgender story time? Nobody? You are in luck. My name is Clarice, and we're going to have a great time tonight. Actually, my name is Matt McKinley. I host a little podcast. I call it the Podcast for the Working Cowboy. It's called Burnin Daylight. So if you look outside and ignore the darkness and just imagine the sun's shining bright and you got your boss telling you to kick it into high gear, damn it. Move your ass. We're burning daylight. That's what we're doing here tonight. And regardless of what he says, I'm the least talented person that you'll see tonight. First off, we got Mr. Sam McCue out of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. He is a horseback fly fisherman, songwriter extraordinaire, guitar picker, might be a secret Klansman. We don't know yet. It's northern Idaho, I don't know. Just kidding. He is not at all. He's a good buddy of mine, and he's a hell of a guitar picker. Next up, we got a big, tall drink of water, Mr. Jake Houston. He is a honky-tonk artist, leather carver, boot maker extraordinaire. He made these bad boys right here. And he's also a sponsor of my show, so thank you, Jake. I was going to shotgun my boots. I just didn't. The boots look good. My jeans did not. So, first world problems. Next up, we got a little duo out of Silver Lake, Oregon, known as Wampus Cat. Soon to be known, I think, hopefully, this is my idea, the Wampus Wilsons, Matt and Rachel Wilson. And last but not least, you met the fella already. The man, the myth, the legend. Calls himself a cowboy, but he's a lot more than that. He's a failed cowboy, turned politician, turned activist, turned grumpy old man with a pretty good sense of humor, Mr. Wesley McKinley. This will be the first show I've ever done. It'd be a little different than most of y'all have seen. It's kind of a variety show. I started this podcast here about a year and a half ago. My lovely wife there in the back, named Rebecca, we call her Ro. She got tired of hearing me talk about all the cool shit that I learned listening to podcasts, and she said, we should do that on your own. And a year and a half later, she's like, why did I ever say that? Because now I don't see the guy because he's either talking to his buddies over the internet or, talking to his other buddies over the internet and not spending any time with family. But anyways, it's a fun time. And I started this deal thinking everybody loves cowboys, right? I mean, like America loves cowboys. They like the rodeo, but nobody really hears from the working cowboys. Like Matt Wilson's a buckaroo from the Sagebrush Sea, right? Yeah. Guy is, I'd say you've raked down a couple broncs, right? He doesn't like to, but his wife really loves to. And I got to thinking some of the best stories I've ever heard in my life were either around a Brandon fire or the lunch after a Brandon or around a couple of pickups and trailers after a roping or something. And they're the funniest stories. I mean, like take Bill Burr, Joe Rogan, Jim Gaffigan. Funnier than anything they'll ever say, but nobody knows them except for the few people that hear them and work with them. So I started this deal to highlight the working cowboy. The ranchers get a little bit of credit, not much, but more than the working guy. More than the working guy. And so I decided, why let Hollywood try to tell our story like on Yellowstone or the ranch? Why don't we tell our own damn story? So here we are. The first annual Burnin' Daylight Bull Session. We do this every Thursday night. We do it live on Facebook. And we get a bunch of cowhands together, no particular topic in mind, and we shoot the shit. The only difference here is we added Sam McCue's element of it. He's a musician and does kind of the same thing up in Coeur d'Alene since, COVID is going to get us. And you guys are too close, by the way. So anyhow, he started a little deal called the Speakeasy Sessions. He's got a little bar in his basement. It's totally not creepy. But he does a little the same type of deal, except it's like a guitar pool, right? Is that what you call it?
I just basically proposition musicians, say, hey, you want to come make videos in my basement?
And you don't have to put the lotion on your skin.
No. Don't mind the meat hooks there. That's nothing. Don't worry about it.
It's singer-songwriter focused guitar pull. Once a month we do them. So follow the McCues or Bar 330 on Facebook.
So we met each other. We mated when we had a baby, and this is called the Cowboy Speakeasy.
Cowboy Speak.
And it's totally not gay unless you're into that thing. And in that case, nobody cares. And whatever. And we're going to have a good time tonight. So, Sam, if you wouldn't mind, start us off with something cool.
I would love to. This is a song I wrote about my granddad. One of my favorite things was just listening to his stories. And he taught me everything I know from the head to the tail of the horse. And he had some crazy stories. And I tried turning a few of them into songs. And this one's kind of about his story. He left home at 14 years old. And just to go ride bucket horses. And this is kind of his story. It's called Calling You Home. He spent his youth on the back of a horse, watching trees grow and streams run their course, and always following the trail right on his daddy's tail. Never known regret or remorse, never shed a serious tear. Not old enough to drink his first beer. When his first brush with death was his daddy's last breath, so he packed and hit the road that same year. Mama's parting words were clear. She said, these mountains will call you back home when you run out of pasture to roam. Spend your whole life running till your past has been done. And listen, they'll call you back home. When he saw the stars after day, they'd shine brighter to show him the way. They were tugging on his heart, or at least the broken part. He dreamed mountains wherever he would stay. 10 long years went by at a crawl. He'd still give his mother a call. Phone cradled on his shoulder, fingers crossed as he told her he might come visit next fall. She said, son, that ain't true at all. She said, these mountains will call you back home when you run out of pasture to roam. Spend your whole life running till your past has been done. And listen, they'll call you back home. We finally stepped off of that bus, walked from that big cloud of dust. He opened that rusty screen door, cleared his throat. His mama turned, and a tear hit the floor. And he said, these mountains were calling me home. Ran out of pasture to roam. I spent a lot of time running. My past has been done. And mother, can I still call this home? She cried, these mountains will always be home when you run out of pasture to roam. Spend your whole life running till your past has been done. But I hope you will always call this home. so much.
Well, Sam, that was just lovely.
Thank you.
I really like that song a lot.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I met Sam off of Instagram. Like, that's how we do it nowadays, ain't it? Nobody meets in person. But
I thought he was going to say I was mail order.
He's a little pricey. I don't know if he's worth the investment, to tell you the truth. But he does sing like an angel, though, don't he?
That's the only similarity, though. That's the only similarity.
Yeah, that's about right. But, you know, he... you do what you can
With what I've got.
Yeah. So, Jake, you when did you get started in the boot making business?
It's been close to 4 years now,
Awesome.
I think. Yeah.
Awesome. Jake is up in Virginia City, Nevada, which if you're not aware of Virginia City, the whole town is on the National Historic Register. And it's a requirement that you dress in period-specific gear if you live there. So if you wear anything past 1885, they just kick you right out of town. What made you move up to Virginia City?
Well, it was kind of the opportunity I was looking to have, working with a custom hat maker up there. That was the whole idea. We have family up there as well, kind of sweetened the pot, and bought a house, went for it, and here we are. So
Awesome. Just and turning out a lot of boots. Like, where do they find you on Instagram?
on Instagram at Houston Boot Co.
Yeah, makes some really awesome stuff. Rachel, Matt, I guess I met you guys on Instagram too, but we're all a bunch of internet friends here, outside of my dad. But these guys are like some hidden gems. You'll get to know them very well here shortly. But they are hilarious. A little off color at times. And that's why I like them. And incredibly talented. I mean, incredibly talented musicians. And you guys are really in for a show here. My dad, as I said, he's a failed cowboy and successful politician because he pissed a lot of people off. He was elected 4 straight terms in a very heavy Republican district, about like this. Southeast Colorado is where we're from. And I think in 2008, George Bush won 93% of our county, something like that. And this fella here won 65% as a Democrat. So that's saying how good a job he did. But at the state level, he was proudly known as the second most corrupt politician in Colorado. And that's a true story. True story. Colorado, was it Colorado Peak Politics that called you that?
Oh, yeah, everybody.
Yeah. So if you're familiar with campaign finance laws, which nobody really is, nobody really is, you have to declare every single donor to your campaign. And his campaign fundraisers consisted of setting up shop in a park or a courthouse lawn or something and grilling hamburgers and doing just what we're doing right here. Set a donation can out at the end of the table. And people will throw cash in, whether it be $1 or $100, and there's no way to track that. And so they fined him, what, $5,000?
Yeah, but I didn't pay it.
He refused to pay it. He said, I don't have it, come get it. And they tried, and turns out he really had nothing. And I could have told him that early on because we didn't have anything growing up. So, but they named him the second most corrupt politician in Colorado. The first most corrupt politician in Colorado was Mother Teresa. Not really. I don't know who it was, but they had to have been a real slime bag to beat him. But as you can see, we're a well-rounded group of individuals here. Jake, what have you been working on here lately? Let's hear something. Old or new, I don't care. What do you got?
I wanted to do a song Harlan Howard wrote. was made famous by Jim Reeves. Mostly I want to do it because I had to dig myself out of 30 inches of snow to get here, and it just felt fitting. So this one's called The Blizzard. There's a blizzard coming on. How I'm wishing I was home. My pony's lame and he can't hardly stand. Listen to that northern side. If we don't get home, we'll die. It's only 7 miles to Marianne. It's only 7 miles to Marianne. You can bet we're on her mind, for it's nearly supper time. And I'll bet there's hot biscuits in the pan. And just think about that barn with hay so soft and warm. It's only 5 more miles to Marianne. It's only 5 more miles to Marianne. That wind's howling and it seems mighty like a woman screams. Bet be moving faster if we can. Lord, my hands feel like they're froze. There's a numbness in my toes. It's only 3 more miles to Marianne. It's only 3 more miles to Marianne. Dan, get up, you ornery cuss. You're gonna be the death of us. Well, I'm weary, but I'll help you if I can. Dan, you're right. Perhaps it's best if we just stop a while and rest. It's just 100 yards to Marianne. It's just 100 yards to Marianne. Late that night, the storm was gone. They found him there at dawn. He'd have made it, 'cause he just couldn't leave old Dan. Yes, they found him there on the plains. His hands froze to the rain. It is just 100 yards from Marianne. It's just 100 yards from Marianne. Thank you.
Well done, amigo. That's one of my favorite songs of all time, and that's no joke. I can remember driving home from college from Fort Collins, Colorado to Walsh, Colorado. I was in a little 1988 GMC S15. And yes, I know you're all wondering. I got all the ladies with that rig. Every one of them. I couldn't take them anywhere because that thing had no balls. But it was, it sounded mean. It sounded mean. But I listened to the Blizzard, the Chris Ledoux version from Lyman, Colorado to Lamar, which normally is what, 2.5 hour drive. Turned into about 5 just from the snow. Is 2-wheel drive S15, which weighs about 17 pounds, I believe. Maybe. Most of that's in the tires. None of it's in the motor. But I listened to that song probably on loop about 52 times probably. And I just love it.
It's a very exact number.
I'm very exact on certain things. I just love cowboy culture. How did you get into the buckaroo stuff? Like, did you grow up around that, Matt?
I grew up in Redmond. It's kind of up there in Central Oregon. It was it used to be pretty small. There was there was a mill, and then there was fellas that ranched around, and some folks worked in town, and some construction going on and things. And I just was in kind of the cowboy group and roping and working on the little places around there. And I've always just been a little off. So
I like it.
I just I don't know. I just them fellas, they talked about the big desert and they talked about the ZX and things, and I just it just kind of caught my interest, and that's what I had to do. And I just left and went out and got a job and started working, and ended up down on the ZX and stayed there for quite a little while, and left and come back, and left, and then they let me back, and and then they asked me not to come back.
And you came back anyways.
Yeah.
We're just kind of hoping that doesn't happen at the stage door.
Please give me a job. Please give me a job.
So. But I don't know. I really enjoyed it. It was pretty cool. It's there's all sorts of different cowboys, and I think they're all pretty good deal. So yeah, just kind of a fella, you can get kind of into your own head and your own way too much sometimes. But it's always nice to kind of have it's regional and things. You do it because it works usually. So that big desert kind of style, I just like it.
And when you get into your own head too much, your wife tracks you down in a bar and knocks your hat off.
Oh, that's right.
It happens. Sounds like there might be a story to that.
I just was going to punch somebody, but when I turned around, it wasn't. It was you.
It was me.
Yeah. Well, it was. We were visiting with a bunch of Mexican fellas in the bar and playing some pool with them, and got kind of wrapped up in the pool game. Forgot that she was waiting for me at home.
Yeah, I was underage.
Yeah.
We kind of go way back. I used to throw rocks at his truck when I was a kid, and when I saw him coming down the road, I'd hide my bike behind a stump, and if I couldn't get my bike behind the stump in time, I'd yell and scream and cuss him and throw rocks at his truck.
You threw a rock at my truck last week.
Oh. But yeah, I couldn't go to the bar, and I was home with a couple of gal friends that were his guy friends, and they were all pregnant and stuff. And I said,
my brother.
"What do you bet those guys are at the bar?" And they said, "Oh no, they'd never do that to us. We're pregnant." And I said, "Like hell, they wouldn't. They're with Matt."
We just stopped in for a quick beer, my brother and I, and a friend or two, and so we got to playing pool with these Mexican fellas, and then they started speaking less English, and it got kind of sketchy. And so we were kind of preparing maybe to have an outside talk with them. And this one fellow was just kind of getting up in me, and all of a sudden I get whacked on the side of the head. And I'm like, oh boy, yeah. Well, I turn around and here she is. And oh man, I was like, oh shit. I'd rather fought the Mexican fella. So
I saved your life that night. Face the facts, sir.
You might
got
have.
stabbed by your own knife and not a Mexican
Oh
knife.
man, yeah. But that was kind of fun. She's always took good care of me. But yeah, I don't know. I just enjoyed it. Well, I like it. I like the crew. It's nice working on a crew.
Yeah, for sure. Well, like I said, I found you guys on Instagram, and we started talking, and it turns out not only are they talented musicians, they're very funny, but Matt is a pretty accomplished bit maker. And do we have that bit here?
Yeah, it's somewhere around here.
Yeah, let's, Jake,
It's,
someday you want to go grab that? We're actually raffling off a bit. Who likes silver? This is Nevada. Who likes silver? All right. Who likes cowboy shit? Who likes guns?
Who doesn't like
guns? You can't like guns. This is what Biden's America. You cannot like guns. But for everybody else, we have got a. Has anybody ever seen the pistol cheek bits? You know, they look like a pistol. All right. Well, we did a little bit of a modern update on that, or I say we. Yeah. He did. I've been, talking about it, but he built it. We got an AR-15 bit. With a grenade spade.
It's got the grenade spade.
$20 will get you a slot, six slots for $100. I'd say this.
Right on.
Perfect. All right, dude. All right.
Thank you.
And we're actually, this will be the first night we roll this out, but we're gonna start something called the Broke Down Cowboy Foundation. Or Cowboy Fund, but that's the official name. The more popular name will be the Broke Dick Cowboy Fund, because every cowboy is a broke dick cowboy.
It's in honor of Ben Dover.
Most of them don't have health insurance, so we're gonna donate a portion of the proceeds to start a fund for injured cowboys.
Yeah, especially Ben Dover.
Ben Dover.
Ben Dover was the one that really got us thinking about it.
He's the patron saint of the Broke Dick Cowboy Fund.
My friend Hugh G. Rection was just decimated last year, and this is a great idea.
Well, I knew a fella, Seymour Butts. I think he'd get into this deal too.
Yeah.
But if anybody'd like to interrupt, we've got a row. If you'll come up and grab this. Like I said, it's $20 a ticket or 6 for $100. And at the end of the show, we'll draw. And
this gentleman here wanted to enter as well in the Padres head.
Yeah, we appreciate it. I like to sponsor, or not sponsor, but I like to promote. I like to be sponsored by local artists or small time artists. But I really like to promote them. After the year that we've had, and the economy being crippled, it's doing my part just to promote small business, and so Matt's been a sponsor of the show before. Jake's a sponsor, and I've got some really cool stuff from them, and it made my life easier, and hopefully, it gets them out there in the world. So all in all, support small business, support local craftsmen, and this is a really cool bid. That's a one of a kind. I don't think you'll see anything like that.
I kind of looked on the internet to see if anybody had done anything, and they hadn't. But I actually bought some ammo, and I was like, I'm always repurposing boxes to send bits off. And this was an ammo box, and I was like, hey, I should make a bit that goes with the box. So that's kind of why I did it.
You're actually not old enough, but the first bits with guns was 6 guns on Gene Autry's horse Champ.
Oh yeah,
and he had I think they were silver guns, silver 6 guns on that. And as a kid, we used to discuss whether they were real or not, and we were sure they were. So you're with real good company.
Right on. Well, this is Rambo's bit off his horse Bloodthirsty. I don't know. Anyhow, thank you, Matt, for all that.
Yeah, you bet. So, what do the Wampus Wilsons have for us this evening besides really cool bits?
I don't know. What do you got for us, darling?
Here, I'll
play us a song.
I'll move this microphone over for you. Yeah.
Check.
You want to sing something together?
I don't know.
I guess neither one of us are plugged in. Maybe we shouldn't sing too loud.
Check. Gotta get way up there on that, don't I? Play me something, please. What are you gonna do?
Poppity pop pop. Sure, thank you.
Here, hand that one over. We are professionals here, folks.
Sorry, guys. Plug your ears. Pop. Oh. Bang.
It's the mother effing remix.
Well, we just celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary last month. Thank you. Thank you. 5 daughters later, and we all made them after the wedding. So,
Allegedly.
I was a good girl, kinda. I won't elaborate on that. What do we want to play?
I'll follow you on one. What are you going to do?
Let's do Bathsheba.
Okay.
Okay, so I just kind of write this and that and whatever. I think you're out on one of those strings.
I thought so too.
Quality control. Anyway, the girls come of age and they start asking about boys and stuff. And I thought, I want to write a song about that because it's just too easy to roll from one sack to the next, and girls these days, they just think that's what they got to do to land a fella. Well, you don't have to do that to land a fella. You just got to throw rocks at him when you're 8. Anyway, so I thought I'd write a song about that. And so this one's called Bathsheba.
Okay. Yeah.
Ready?
Yes, I am.
You guys can jump in if you want. I don't mind at all. My daughter came in with a smile on her face. She said, Mama, I never thought I'd feel this way. How do I know he's for real? Was it like how did Daddy make you feel? It's not just what you feel, what he says. It's more than just going to bed. It's about your heart and his one big mix. Can you love him through every phase? It's not easy in love. Can you tear your heart out now? What do you wanna be to him? A mother or a friend now? Making a love to last a lifetime. Tell him I won't be a Bathsheba, baby. Wanna be green and not just the lace. Wanna be your darling companion. Love me forever, not just today. Well, is it in his touch? Is it in his eyes? Everyone says those are all just big lies. In his kiss, like the old song said. Tell me more, is it all in my head? And I laugh. He's young and you want to. Be careful what you do. Take it slow and let it go. Let him always be your hero. Make it a love to last a lifetime. Ask him, can it be my John Wayne, baby? One night and the all night, just the horse. Can you be a Northern Star? Can you love me forever, no matter how far you are? Thank you.
Thank you. That was awesome. That was really good.
Oh man, fun.
I didn't have to take very long to prove that I'm the least talented here. It didn't take long at all. But I'm really honored to share the stage with these guys. They've all been listening to my show and just really good people. And it just so happens, added bonus, that they're pretty damn good at music too. So
Thanks, man.
I thought we were going to get kicked out of the Stockman's Cafe this morning. We got a little rowdy and loud, but it was, man, it was a fun time. It's funny is, my dad grew up cowboy. Well, I guess he grew up, most grew up poor. And, but he took to the cowboy lifestyle because he really liked being poor. He kind of taught me what I know.
Matt, switch.
Are we good? No. All right, there we are. All right. He taught me pretty early on, and it might be the single most lasting impact in my life is, he said, well, son, you are going to...
Oh, your battery. No, he's got one.
I could do the hands.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so he said, son, you are going to go get on the back of about 1,000 to 1,200 pound animal, and you're going to try to make them do what you want to so that you can take another 12 to 1,400 pound animal and move them where you want to. And neither one of them are really going to like what you're doing. And eventually maybe that horse will get to liking it, but that cow probably is not ever going to. And you're going to do all that work. You're probably going to break some bones. You're going to be mad at the world, and they're going to pay you next to nothing. So if you're going to do this, make sure that you marry a woman with a good job in town and a big paycheck so you can support this stupid, ignorant, crazy lifestyle that you love. But it is awesome. He didn't say awesome, but he said it is, I think he said mighty fine, mighty fine.
Not rad or tubular. Or...
No, I think
It's bitchin'.
tubular was definitely a very scientific term back in the 1830s when he was born.
It's roast dad night tonight. Roasting dad.
I'm just kidding. I only say that because he's too old to whip my ass anymore. 5 years ago, I wouldn't have said that. But he instilled a very keen sense of work ethic in me, and a very good sense of like, when you say you do something, you better do it. Otherwise, you're kind of a piece of shit. And we don't raise those around here. So do what you say you're going to do. And I took that to heart, but mostly I took to heart marry a woman in town with a big paycheck. So love you, Ro.
I think that's related to why you have so many bits, custom bits.
It is. But, whatever. You can never have too many bits, especially custom bits from, Matt Wilson.
That's kind of my thought.
Anyhow, what do you got for us tonight, Dad?
I'll tell a story. Years ago, when I was just a little lad, I wanted to be a cowboy. Really bad. I'd prayed to God. I said, I've looked around and I appreciate what you've given us, and I want to appreciate that and show my grace. He said, I can do that. I can make you a cowboy. You'll be a cowboy. All right. What do I have to do? This cowboy desire to bring big tears to my eyes. And one day I seen an old cowboy, old, long in years. I thought, now at long last, the big question I could ask, what does it take for me a cowboy to be? He said, young fella, listen careful, and then you will see. To be a cowboy, there's many things you must know. Never leave your hat where you can't put it on your bald head to keep out the snow. You'll need a horse that's sound and won't stumble when he's on the trail. You'll need a rope that lays smooth when it's in its coil. Also, whenever you're playing cards with all your friends, be sure and play the hoil. Don't cheat them. You'll need on your belt a big buckle, made by Matt here, that your belly will stay behind. On that belt buckle should be a nice, bright design so that your belly will stay behind that. You'll need some boots with some good spurs with rowels of spin. That's so that when you go into the saloon, the cowgirls will hear you come in. And you will need to be real careful with your old pickup and never been in a wreck. Because if you're going to move out west and be a cowboy, most important thing, marry a woman with a good paycheck.
Truer words have never been spoken. Before I forget and we get too far into the evening, we had a very nice dinner last night down at, what was the name of that place? Tina, what's your restaurant? Machi's. Dang it, I knew that. Tina was our waitress last night, did an excellent job. If you ever in there, tip her very generously. It is her birthday tonight, so... And not only that, we have Ro, hand her the mic and so she can explain who all we're singing for. It's kind of an ordeal.
Then what do you do? Oh, dang. All right. It's all you. Okay, so my birthday is actually tomorrow. But then we have happy birthday.
We got a bunch of birthdays?
Yeah. But then Susie, her birthday is the 2nd. Brad's birthday is the 5th. And Dak and Susie's wedding anniversary was yesterday. So we're all celebrating tonight.
Woo! Well, if everybody will raise their drinks in honor of all the birthdays and anniversary celebrations, and who can play Happy Birthday on the old Git Fiddle?
You're plugged in.
Come on, Rachel. We're counting on you.
How are we gonna? Tina.
Okay, goes to D. Here we go.
All right.
Uh-oh. Happy birthday
to you.
What's your name?
Happy birthday to you.
Happy anniversary.
Happy birthday, whoever the hell
Tina
you
and
are.
Tracy, both of them. That's Tina. One's
Happy
Tracy. You're welcome.
birthday to you. I appreciate you all coming out. Make sure you drink plenty of beer, whiskey, whatever you got. Tip your bartenders and tip the artists as well. We'll pass a hat around here later, but I'm not paying any of these guys, so anything you give them is that's bonus. So anyhow,
What the hell?
well, I've got a couple spare cigarettes I'll let you have.
All right.
My wife doesn't like them, so we had to make her quit. She had a problem. That's not true. She's never smoked a day. Well, she smoked one day in her life, and it about ruined her. So, anyhow, no, we just put this on kind of just see what would happen, and hopefully next year we can pay them. But tips are greatly appreciated. They came a long ways, and it's pretty cool to be. I think we're the only live show in Elko for Cowboy Poetry. And we're not even associated with Cowboy Poetry. So thank you all for coming out. I hope you enjoy it. I've got a little poem.
And the more you drink, the better we sound.
Exactly. Disguise the disgustingness of my voice with whiskey or beer or whatever. I don't judge. My wife teaches Spanish, and one of her former students sent me a message. He's in the Navy right now. His name's Donovan Copeland, and they're on quarantine, and he can't go do anything or see anybody. So he's been writing poetry, and he sent me a little sample, and I thought it was pretty good. And I told him I'd recite it. So let me find it here, and there we go. I should have been a cowpoke. Should have had my own brand. Born back in the time when a man could take a stand. Way out west, just working them cows. Instead of being home, working them plows. laying under the stars in my bedroll, writing these poems that soothe my soul next to my campfire with the herd on the ground. Listening to the sweet, soothing night sounds, not a thing to my name except my horse and my saddle, plus these clothes on my back and the spurs that rattle. No wife or kids to hold me down. Doing sit by sick from a bottle of Crown. Up at the crack of dawn, just to put them cowboy boots on. Ride until I'm saddle sore, just to wake up tomorrow and do it some more. Listen to the wind in the barbed wire, while off to the next ranch, needing of hands and hire. That's the dream. I'd love to be mine. It's just too bad I was born in the wrong time. Very well done, Donovan. It's cool. He's 18-year-old kid. I didn't even know he was into that the cowboying deal. And now all of a sudden, when you can't do anything with your life, you're just sitting around, hurry up and wait. That's kind of the motto of the U.S. military, hurry up and wait. Might as well write some cowboy poetry. And I thought he did a pretty damn good job. So thanks, Donovan. Sam, what do you got up?
Yeah, I'll play another one. Can I snag that cable back from you?
Okay.
Professional operation, fellas. Professional operation. Don't mind us over here.
Only one pocket.
Who in here, show of hands, has ever night calved? Anybody? Okay. Yep.
One guy.
Night calf.
So you know how much fun it is. But it's basically just sitting there with a bottle of whiskey and a flashlight on your four-wheeler or your Kubota. Or your Kubota side by side. And
Kubota crazy.
And just waiting for your first time heifer. I've got a friend of mine. He used to run the Montana State ranch back home, and it was basically just him all night. And he was alone on that ranch, and he would text me, because I'm a night owl, and just kind of about his life and being single and just very reflective time for him when he was night calving. And so I wrote this song for him, and actually when I wrote the song, I sent it to him, and he just went, "Thanks." So if he's watching, he knows. It's called I Don't Care. My flashlight cuts this whiskey breath escaping into the night, hoping 3 more calves will drop before I see the morning light. She used to hate me out all night, late into the spring. That all changed the night she told me that she couldn't wear my ring. She said she'd rather take the hand of a stable grown-ass man who doesn't fret about the weather. If the price of beef is fair, she can't imagine half a life being a poor old cowboy's wife. So I'll sit here in the cold and tell myself that I don't care. I don't care.
That's all I got, Sam.
We smoke these damned old cigarettes to alter the effect that the whiskey has on my perception of the noose around my neck. Sure ain't getting any younger, and this shelf life's coming due. Can't deny the things she left me for were anything but true. She said she'd rather take the hand of a stable grown-ass man who doesn't fret about the weather. If I'm just a stubborn bastard. I probably get that from my dad. When I think of all the arguments we never should have had, I made my mind up in this pasture in the middle of the night that I'd get these calves to summer before I let that new straw tie. Rather take the hand of a stable grown-ass man who doesn't fret about the weather if the price of beef is fair. She can't hide being a poor cowboy's wife, so I'll sit here in the cold and tell myself that I don't care, that I don't care, that I don't care, that I don't care. Thank you. The funny story, I wrote that song and I sent it to Matt, and I said, how's this sound? And the song had, it was
This is my
stable.
one writer's credit.
Yeah, he gets credit for this. It was stable grown up man. He goes, no, stable grown ass man. So Matt's a songwriter now.
I got to tell you,
Quality, not quantity.
I just met Sam today, and I'm just kind of a big cheese ball. Like, I've never heard your music before, and that's the second time I've just wanted to bawl, man. I'm choking back tears in there for real.
That is a really good song, and I will claim that till the day I die. That is my songwriter credit.
It is.
And
you all heard it.
I don't know how much it added to the song. I just it sounds better saying grown ass rather than grown up.
Yeah.
But that's such a cool song.
Thank you.
And I heard the story about it, and it's a very heartfelt song. It's a very personal song. But goddamn, it sounds good too, don't it?
Well, I write all these sad songs, and my wife, I bring them to my wife first, of course, and she sings with me most of the time. She's tied up back home doing nursing school right now, and I'll bring songs to her, and they're all sad. She goes, "Are you broken?" I just feel everything real hard.
That's all, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's Sam's a pretty damn good songwriter. But so is Jake Houston. And shut your face, Jake. I mean, not literally shut your face. We need you to sing a song, but shut your face about this not being a good songwriter.
He's been a little too loud over here.
Yeah, you're way too loud. But now Jake started following my podcast, and then I knew that he made boots. And so I had him on just to talk about boots, and then I got to looking him up because, I guess as a good podcast host, you're supposed to know who you're talking to, which is about half the time I do, I guess. So I looked up Jake, and then, he had a couple pair of boots out at the time, but he also had a little album on Spotify. Mm-hmm. Got one of the coolest band names also, Jake Houston and the Royal Flush. Pretty awesome. And so then I listened to it, and I was like, oh, let's see what this joker's got. And holy shit, the guy can wail. And I was like, why are we talking about boots? I mean, boots are awesome, don't get me wrong, but you never once mentioned that you played music even. And he's like, well, I guess, yeah, I do something or other. And then I was like, no, man, you really play well. And it's something you need to promote more, buddy. I tell you that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what do you got for us tonight?
So first of all, when I named the band the Royal Flush, it's because we had one girl in the band. So that's kind of how that stuck. But being up here, I think about casinos a lot. Last time I come through town, my wife Gwen and I stayed at Stockman's per usual. This was in the summertime. We were on our way to Pendleton, Oregon, and we had a pretty rough night. There was some folks fighting in the room next to us. Couldn't sleep or nothing. I dozed off for a while, but I woke up in the middle of the night, I don't quite remember it.
I didn't realize we was keeping him up, huh?
All right. Hey.
Sorry about that.
I appreciate it.
We weren't actually fighting though.
So I woke up and I looked at Gwen and
That's a sex joke, by the way.
Oh, I get it now. Shit.
It's okay. On a more serious note, I woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning. And Gwen was awake. She's like, "What's wrong?" I looked at her. I said, "I breathed in the devil." She's like, "What's that mean?" I was like, "I don't know." She's like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "I don't know, but it's probably not bad because it hasn't happened yet." She's a little freaked out, and I can't help but notice tonight, looking at the Stockman Casino sign, the only letters in casino that light up are S-I-N. So that's a long way of getting around to it, but here's a newer song I wrote. This goes out to my buddy Dave. This one is called the nightlife of a drunken middle-aged divorcee or divorced dude in Reno, Nevada, USA.
It's divorcee, you peasant.
Hey, sorry about it.
It's French.
All right. Hey, barmaid, could you pour me a drink? Seems these days I got too much time to think. Every turn I ever made that parked me in this stew. Just playing tough, just playing me like a fool. See, a man like me don't deserve remorse any more than I deserve divorce. Didn't like my drinking and I didn't hear her cry. Clouded up on my pretty sky. I'll have another cigarette, stare at the paintings on the wall. Who'd known rock bottom wasn't all that far to fall. This casino never closes, so I'll have one more beer. Since I can't go home, I suppose I'll stay right here. Hey, barmaid, could you please close my towel? Hope that I ain't acted all that bad. Say the drunken words are only sober thoughts. Pardon me if I seem a little lost. I'm heading to the steakhouse for some food. I'd like some company if you're in the mood. Shift change is coming, you gotta let down all that hair. She said, "Oh no, it's on fine, I guess I only call you care." I'll have another cigarette, stare at the paintings on the wall. Who'd known rock bottom wasn't all that far to fall. This casino never closes, so I'll have one last beer. Since I can't go home, I suppose I'll stay right here. Have another cigarette, stare at the paintings on the wall. Who'd known rock bottom wasn't all that far to fall. Casino never closes, so I'll have this one last beer. Since I can't go home, I suppose. Since I can't go home, I suppose. Since I can't go home, I suppose I'll stay right here. Hey.
And this guy never told me about his music. He was like, "Oh, let's talk boots. Let's talk boots." Where the fuck did that come from, guy? Come on. Come on. Give him a hand.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, as I said, least talented guy on the stage here. But like that's a cool song, man. I really enjoyed that. So how many here work with cattle? Anybody? Yeah. We got a few. You work with beef cattle or dairy cattle? Both. So you know how a Holstein acts, right? Okay, so oh my word. So I've got a reality TV idea. So bear with me. For everybody who knows cattle, you can tune this part out. But everybody who don't, there's beef cattle. So you got Angus, Hereford, Brangus, Brayford. Everything you typically think of when you think steak, hamburger. And then you got the dairy cattle, which are the black and white spotted Holsteins, and you got Jerseys. But the Holsteins they're the predominant dairy herd, and they are not really cows. I mean, they have 4 stomachs, just like every other cow. They chew their cud, just like every other cow. They have a calf, like every other cow. But how they act, they're basically a 1,400-pound dog. And they're just, instead of barking, they go, and they're bug-eyed, and they're kind of goofy little bastards. And they're not scared of anything. And the reason for that is they bred them to be high up off the ground, so their tits didn't drag in the mud, and they bred them for milk production and to be docile, and that's it. Nothing else.
It's a teat. Tatas. You've offended half the women in this building. It is a teat, sir.
Teat. Teat. My bad. Teat.
I don't care.
Yeah, they are
I don't
tits.
care what they're called.
We'll be honest, they're tits.
I like the hell out of them. I don't care what you call them. You can call them knockers. You can call them.
They're a lot of.
I love them.
Their way. Regardless, they're a lot of fun. So they, but they don't breed them for survival ability. They don't breed them to grow fast. They breed them to. Oh, we got something here.
A picture of a Holstein.
No, that's.
Oh,
a picture
man.
of your what? Oh my God, those are wonderful. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to wear my glasses.
So, these things have no survival ability at all. And that includes the color, because when is a black and white spotted animal going to blend into any environment? Ever. Right. And then they also have no sense of fear. So I've got this idea. When I make some good fuck you money, I'm going to buy a big ranch, probably out here in Elko County, because that's where the big ranches are. And I'm going to turn out a herd of Holsteins on the mountain. And I'm going to see how long they last, because at this point I have fuck you money. So if I lose them all, whatever. But it's going to be for science and comedy, mostly comedy, but also science. Because I have this theory, like if you ever watch a plastic bag float through a pen of Holsteins, there could be 400 head in this same pen, and all 400 head will chase this fucking plastic bag around and just, and then they might push a pipe fence over chasing this plastic bag. They don't know why, they're just gonna do it. So I have this thought that you turn, say, 2 truckloads of Holsteins out on a grazing allotment. They're headed up the mountain, and there's a big old mountain lion just stalking. He's like, yeah, I'm fixing to be fat, like real fat. And then this one random Holstein heifer spots a mountain lion, and she goes, "Brrr." And next thing you know, all 2 truckloads converge on this mountain lion. The mountain lion goes, "What the fuck is this? I'm out. And next thing you know, free range Holsteins run the entire mountain range, because they scare everything off, because they just want to know what the hell is out there.
They scared neighbors' cattle.
I don't know, but we had an idea. And so I'm going to have Matt and Sam help me with this. But to add to this comedy, we're going to try to get Gilbert Gottfried. If anybody knows who Gilbert Gottfried is, We want him to narrate it. So Sam, what would that sound like?
Well, it'll be like that show Meerkat Manor, only it'll be Moo Cat Manor. And you'll have Gilbert Godfrey saying,
"Oh, we've got there's a mountain lion approaching the herd. Let's see what they do."
Matt Wilson, what do you got there?
As the heifer slowly walks down to the water, she discovers there is a mountain lion.
My God, look at the udders on her.
Oh my God. Look at the teats on her. Would you look at the teats on that?
Coming to you on AMC on Thursday nights.
"Oh, they need it."
I think that might be $1 million idea, or maybe $1 billion dollar idea. I don't know.
I'd watch it.
So, long story short, we'll pass the hat around. Jake, hey, you wanna pass the hat around, Jake, if you don't mind?
Hey, he wants to I'm all right.
Yeah, I'll have one. Yeah, IPA. Yeah, that being said, I need money to start this reality TV project. So pass it in the hat, and we'll send an email to Gilbert Gottfried, and maybe your money will be worth it. I don't know.
He's not
Probably
doing anything.
Yeah, he ain't doing shit.
He's available.
His schedule's wide open.
I thought you'd never call.
Wide open.
Nice thing is you boys ain't gonna have to ever gather anything. You just wait till 4 o'clock and their udders will be blowing up. They'll just walk on back to the ranch.
Yeah. Just
milk me, please. That did Gilbert Godfrey's gonna go, how you do it?
Cross the cattle.
Carry me melt.
I crossed the cattle garden. I waved a plastic bag, and there they were.
Oh God.
And so Sam's now got a song about Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah.
Just kidding. No, we don't. You need to write a song.
I do the number from Aladdin or something?
Something like that. You know, they don't care. They don't know any different, Sam. Just play something.
It's the Wilsons.
Oh, it is the Wilsons.
I guess it is my turn, I guess.
And I, for one, am dying to hear what you guys have next.
Well,
this is all Matt.
You know, you learn something every day, and I found out I didn't know it. I was a politician too, because I've pissed off a lot of people. I didn't even mean to. This song I want to share with you guys kind of pissed off some folks too, and gets me in trouble a little, but I think I'll be safe with it tonight. I learned rope from a fella named Dwayne Rosebrook, and I was preteen fella, and this guy was just a hero to me. And so one day he sits down and he was telling me stories, and he had been a jockey in the Bush League, and he was talking about running racehorses, and he said he had the funniest damn story. And so he said there was this colored fella that used to run racehorses with him, and he said he's a hell of a great guy. And he took off down the track in this little flat saddle, and this old horse went to bucking with him, and he said that colored fella just sat up, started quirting that horse, and the horse jumped over to the center fence, and he said as he went over to the fence, that colored fella just leaned up and said, "Yippee-ki-yo, motherfucker!" and he said he just like, and so here I was a little kid, and I was like, my God, that is amazing. Wow. I mean, that just stuck with me. And so I always had that yippee-ki-yo motherfucker in my head. And anyway, so I wanted to write a cowboy song. And most cowboys don't like to be told what to do. They like to do their own thing. And so, but we kind of appreciate what we got to, and we just do our own thing. So this is my cowboy song, and I hope you like it. So. Well, way out west where the wild sun sets, the coyote base the moon. And them good old boys ride bridle horses, so drink 'em beer by noon. Oh, there's black hats and... Oops. Maybe I should start over.
Yeah.
That for me the whole
Here
time.
You go.
I think let's see if I say. Here we go. Here.
I got you, babe. You just
We're a professional outfit, folks.
I got it. Oh, I put this up over my head.
You want to use my
This is the way I normally rope, kind of tangled up.
You're not a true roper until you rope yourself.
Oh, yeah. See, I'm coming to the fire. Look out. Well, way out west where the wild sun sets, the coyote base of the moon. Them good old boys ride bridle horses, so drink a beer by noon. Oh, there's black hats and branded trouts, and them crickets sing. Big loops fly through a basin sky, pretty as the diamond ray. Yippee-ki-ho, motherfucker. Yippee-ki-hey. If you don't like the way I'm riding my horse, just shut your mouth and trot away. Straight. I got no weight tree. I got a dog who sometimes listens more while she loves me. Well, I got a little shed, a nice dry bed, and some kid I dearly love. Well, I'd say I'm doing all right, thanks to the Lord. Yippee-ki-hey, motherfucker. The way I'm riding my horse, just shut your mouth and trot away. Sunsets, the Cali bays of the moon, and good old boys ride riding horses, they drink them beer by noon. There's white hats and brandy trout, hear them crickets sing. Hey, big loops fly through a basin sky, pretty as the diamond ring. Oh, big loops fly through a basin sky, pretty as the diamond ring.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
How awesome are they? Give it up to Wilsons one more time.
Yeah, let's hear it for the Wampus Wilsons. Woo! Well, I believe we have a request for who here loves America? I mean, like, really loves America. Who's a Republican?
Well,
nobody cares. Who's a Democrat? Nobody fucking cares. Who's an American? Hey, me too. Nobody cares. America. But most of all,
We dig you, girl.
But most of all, we're Americans, and my dad does a cover of an old Johnny Cash tune called "The Ragged Old Flag." Yeah.
Matt said Holstein would not blend in. They were camouflaged. He only said that because he's never seen a riot at the Capitol. We had started the wagon train from Branson, Colorado, went along the Great Creek Road along the edge of the mesa and arrived in Trinidad. Had the fire going, was getting ready to cook hamburgers. Matt and I and a couple other boys sitting there. Young man walked up, looked around, howdy fellas. He said, "Your old courthouse looks a little run down." "Oh, no, son, it'll work good. It's probably the first time you've been in this town." "Well, yeah." And he said, "That flagpole's leaning a little bit." Sure enough, it was. Wind blows down there. I said, "I'm mighty proud of that ragged old flag. It's true, it does have a hole there. That's when Washington took her across the Delaware. Got powder burned the night Francis got keys, sat watching and writing. Oh, say, can you see?" Well, there was Beauregard and Jackson, and it got a little seam up there ripped when she was down in New Orleans. She was at the Alamo, but she waved bravely on when they tried to take it down. Then, well, she got a cut there when she was at Chancellorsville. A sword cut it again at Shiloh Hill. And then she got a hole there from a big Gatling gun in World War I. And then, of course, there come World War II. She hung limp and low by the time that was through. That ragged old flag had flown on every ship that went across the seas when it roamed. Well, at home now, you kind of wonder if she's going to stay right here at home. We kind of wonder about it. We look around. She was in Korea after that, Vietnam. Everywhere Uncle Sam sent her, she was there. Our ragged old flag. After that, she was in the Persian Gulf and a whole lot of other stuff. You can look at it and you might think she's getting threadbare and wearing thin, but she's in good shape, whatever shape she's in. Native Americans, me and you, black and brown, red, yellow, and white, we shed our red blood for our stars and stripes. So we look at it and we think that's ours. That's our symbol. It makes no difference. That stands for our country, for America, a Christian nation formed under biblical principles. So we run her up every day, and we take her down every night, and we fold her up right.
Should we sing the anthem? Should we sing the national anthem? Is anybody opposed to that? Anybody opposed to the national anthem?
If they are, we're just going to kick their ass and throw them out of the bar.
That's right.
Anyway, so.
Rachel, would you do the honors?
Oh my God. Oh, I can try.
I would appreciate it if you would. You've got the voice of an angel, so I'd like to hear it. Anybody want to hear Rachel Wilson sing the national anthem?
Oh, I hope I don't screw up the word.
All right, well, please stand. Remove your hats. Act like a respectable goddamn American, and let's hear the national anthem.
Gosh. Oh, you sprung it on me.
I'm sorry.
We'll do our best here.
I was going with the flow, sorry.
Oh, say can you see high the dawn's early light? What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh my gosh.
Who else got goosebumps? Who else got goosebumps? God damn, woman, that was awesome. That was amazing. Holy shit, that was awesome.
That's like my worst fear. I can't even tell you.
Well, I really didn't mean to put you on the spot. It
praise
just
the
seemed like
Lord,
the
praise
right
the
thing to
Lord.
do, and not to toot my own horn, but toot, toot. Fucking nailed that one. Son of a bitch.
Oh, thank you, Jesus. I that wasn't me. That was all him, man.
Holy cow. How about that high note? Shit. Ro, could you bring me my notebook up here, please? Yeah, I actually had never even thought of that till that moment, but it seemed like the right thing, and man, you rocked that thing. I don't need the pin.
I'm shaking. That's not fake, man.
Oh, man. Let's give her another round, because I'm amazed by that. Well, it's starting to turn into a Trump rally in here or something. Yeah, that was awesome. That was really awesome.
That was my honor. Thank you.
Oh, I was gonna read a poem right now, but it seems to be it doesn't fit the flow right now. So, Sam, you got anything? Yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll come back around, but.
Oh, yes. There you go.
I'll pass up my turn because that was awesome. I mean, that was awesome.
I got goosebumps.
Well, he does.
I didn't even know she was American.
This song, let's see here. This song I wrote, it's not a cowboy song, but it's an interesting song. So I never knew my dad's mom, really. They had their differences, and he made the choice and for what was best for us. And I never really knew her until she was older, and things were a little better. And I kind of wrote this song from my dad's perspective because it must have been hard making that choice for what was best for his family. And he and I have never discussed it, but this song's called Just Who I Am. Time pushed us away for so long. These letters we'd written each other didn't say we were wrong. A bond left here to wield, a war never won. Both Irish, both Catholic, both stubborn, like mother, like son. And as the months turned to years, still neither of us spoke. 'Cause the first one to lose was the first one who broke. We took time for granted, now I'm holding your hand while you are trying to remember just who I am. The fall erased every trace of anger and hurt. You smiled when I came here to see you, didn't know where you were. My duty kicked into gear to not leave your side. Fueled by gallons of guilt from years worth of pride. And I grew closer to God, hoping you would reach been their kin for too many years. Release fistfuls of dirt and say a quick prayer. And I promise myself and my sons that I'll always be there. Stop this cycle the day before I pass it on. So these boys that I've shaped will be here till I'm gone. And waiting the clock till it ran out of sand. I've spent days, weeks, and months in this moment, but I couldn't have dreamed you not knowing just who I am. Thank you.
Oh man, I'll tell you what. If I don't make a joke, I'm gonna bawl my face off.
I was just thinking the same thing. Way to ruin the party, Sam, with your awesome lyrics and bullshit.
You invited me.
I got to tell you, my dad, dementia runs in my family. So my dad got real sick, and I went on and just like a weekend to help my dad with the surgery, and it turned into almost like 2 straight months on the road with this man. And when I got back, I didn't realize I was having like a mental breakdown. And there's this one night I spent many nights. Not even, I'd wake up in the middle of the night and not recognize anything, have no idea where I even was from all the stress. And one night, Matt got up out of bed, and you know, most couples, naked story number six.
Put it on the board.
Number 6. You guys,
Matt's told 6. There's 6 stories involving Matt completely naked tonight.
Yeah, you guys missed number 1 through 5, but they've been pretty epic to this point, so I can't wait.
Yeah, so here's Matt going down the hallway, buck ass naked, and I sit up in bed and realize I too am buck ass naked, have no idea who this dude is, which is totally unlike me, and I just remember grabbing my blankets, going, "Oh my God, where am I?" Oh, and I'm looking around like 5 straight minutes pass. I have no idea who the hell I am or where I'm at. And I decide, well, if I follow this guy, maybe he isn't mad. He seemed pretty nice. So I go traipsing down the hallway wrapped in the bed blankets, and I'm like, where am I? And Matt goes, "Reach! It's me, for fuck's sake, wake up." And I'm like, oh God, I listen to this song. I'm like, oh no, that's us. Just giving another 20 years to poor Matt. But I'll be, old and crusted by then, so.
I'll be naked.
And you will still be naked.
And that's what we call timing, folks. Oh.
Man. See him.
Oh, Jake Houston, how are you going to follow that up?
Well, I'm either going to make you cry harder or I'm going to... Okay, I'll go the other route. So, first of all, thank the birthday crew for this round of drinks. Appreciate you guys.
Woo! Thank you, guys.
Hey, like, thank every one of you for coming out and listening to us babble and sing and whatnot. So, appreciate you guys. And salute.
And the stage door. You guys have been awesome.
Amen.
Yes. Thank you to the stage door.
man.
Emily, thank you so much for sticking your neck out and putting this on. This is fucking awesome. It's fucking awesome.
All right, so I'm not playing something sad. This is a newer one of mine. Sometimes I'll see a character around town that's impressionable, to say the least. So when I lived in Reno for a spell and I bartended, I was the worst bartender in town. Well, you'd quit already, so I had to fill the shoes. There was a guy named Ronnie who'd hang out in the area we lived at. He'd go around all these bars, and he'd always, if he was there, he couldn't close. So there's all these stories from these bartenders in that side of town about Ronnie, and everybody called him Wetbird. And that was his nickname. And he used to say a bunch of crazy shit like Wetbird never flies at night. He'd just tell you that. And he'd grab your hand, he'd hold on to it for about 5 minutes, shaking it, which, you know.
Well, you can't prove him wrong.
That's true. So, anyways, I kind of wrote this song about Ronnie. Although he was a pain in the ass, we all liked him enough to write a song about him. So, it's called Wetbird. He's old as hell and he looks it. Says the kids keep him young. He frequents all the late night bars. I guess he thinks he's having fun. He gets so goddamn jackass drunk, we're surprised he's still alive. The wet bird never flies at night, but he sure knows how to drive. He'll plumb talk your ear off if you let him get too close. Vietnam or Donkey Kong or anything that goes. But don't you try to take his keys if you don't want to fight. The wet bird never flies at night, but he sure knows how to drive. He ain't got a DUI as far as we all know. Seems he keeps it between the lines and takes her nice and slow. You can try to make him leave, but it won't shorten his stride. Wet bird never fly at night, but he sure knows how to drive. Calls the lady super wheels, but we don't know what it means. Some folks think he's senile, but it's all the beer that he drinks. Some say he's a vampire stealing years off all our lives. Wet bird don't fly at night, but he damn sure knows how to drive. He ain't got a DUI as far as we all know. Seems he keeps it between the lines and takes her nice and slow. Don't you try to make him leave, cause it won't shorten his stride. The wet bird never fly at night, but he sure knows how to drive. Wet bird never flies at night, but he sure knows how to drive. Thank you. Thank you.
The guy says 3 words all night and then brings down the motherfucking house. I love every minute of it. Jake, that was awesome.
Thank you.
It's okay that you sucked at bartending.
I agree.
Oh, well, if the Wampus Wilsons don't mind, I've got a request, and I went to a little show over at the Star Hotel last year. That me and my wife came up here to Elko. We've been through Elko and been in Elko a couple, many different times. But I'd never been to cowboy poetry before. I've been around cowboy poetry over here, and I knew a little bit about it. I'd heard about the Cowboy Poetry Gathering, and I just never went. And we finally decided last year, after I started this whole podcast thing, we'll go because it'd be a good place to meet some neat people. And I was so impressed with how everything was done. Elko is just probably the coolest fucking town on earth. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty goddamn cool. It is Old West to the core, and it's fucking awesome. I loved it here, and so we're doing a show. Like I got Corb Lund's phone number at the Star, and I texted it to Sam, or I texted a screenshot to Sam. I was a
you
little
unknowingly gave me his number.
I was we'll say I was 2.5 steps below blackout drunk, and I thought I had blurred out his number.
He did.
I did not at all. There was just a squiggly line underneath his number.
Here comes Naked Story number 7.
I highlighted his number to all my buddies. I didn't blur it out at all. I made a squiggly line underneath his number, so it just drew their attention to it. But whatever, it is what it is. He changed his number. He doesn't text me back anymore. But that's neither here nor there. But I was listening to, I was doing some social media stalking on Mr. Matt Wilson and his whole shit. And I went to their YouTube channel, which I believe it's called Ranch Factor Television. Is that what it's called? Yeah. Ranch Factor Television. If you have the YouTube machine, you should check them out. But they played at the Outside Circle show over at the Star Hotel 2 years ago, and he wrote a song about it right after, and I really like it. And can you play it or no?
I can't remember it.
Oh shit. Maybe you're not.
I haven't played it so long, honestly, I can't remember it.
Oh shit. All right. Well, you'll have to go to their YouTube channel and listen to it. But
I'm sorry.
oh no, that's okay. It was a good. Well, hey, just forget that last little lead up. Let's redo. No,
it is on YouTube.
It is on YouTube, but yeah, play something. I don't know what you got, but all right, I think we need a duet, don't we?
We can do a duet.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
Let's do it. You're welcome.
I don't know. We couldn't bring our upright bass, so I feel a little lost sometimes. I play bass for you on that song. Someday soon. Oh, that is a good one. They want us to do something together. How about we do Sycam Buckaroo?
I forgot about that. Yeah. Let's see. Scab is standing on the ropes. Hear them both frogs crow. Got 2 more hours till the morning light. Saddle them colts upright and get them cinches tight and load them boys with burning daylight. Sycam Buckaroo. Up the night avenue. Gather cattle of the way up high. On the go, wilder than a rodeo, chasing doves in the morning light. Jack pine like a jail cell. I'm cowboy all to hell. Got 60 foot of nylon and a lot of hope. If everything goes right, we'll be home tonight. We'll be home tonight. Sycam Buckaroo, not the hot weather do. Gather
chasing dust in the morning light. Them days is a while ago, and over the hill I rode, this old cowboy in a wagon there. As I ramble on, I'm gonna sing this song for all my parts, both gone and here. A second buckaroo, nothing I'd rather do than gather cattle all the way up night. Hounds and horses on the go, louder than a rodeo, chasing dust in the morning light. Hounds and horses on the go, louder than a rodeo, chasing dust in the morning light.
That was awesome. Man. Let's hear it again. That was awesome. Slackhand Buckaroo.
I forgot to tell that story. We were staying up on Sycan at this little, we were running kind of a, we were working for a fellows, we were running kind of a gals camp. They'd come up, we'd take them riding, whatever. And our three older daughters and I jumped in the Wagoneer one day to go down to town and get supplies. And we drove by this jack pine thicket. And I looked over and I says, man, them jack pines look like a jail cell there. And my daughters are like, Dad, what would you know about that? And I was like, well,